Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL, and this is DK. We'll talk about it.
And it should make for a very interesting week going forward. XRP is set for a big week as ProShares ETF launches on July 18th. Now, July 18th, for the record, is Friday. And that's where we want to really probably take to the heart the adage, the saying, the mantra: buy on rumor, sell on news. Now, here's the thing about it. This is not a rumor, but the news is still set to work its froth up until Friday. Yep, work its froth up until Friday. There you are, looking at the 7-day, and here we are on Friday. And they worked it up real nice. That was taken from a very recent video that I did, where I anticipated that on Friday, after they've generated all that news cycle and narrative, that it would find its way down. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's going to stay down because I've already committed to up and never stop too, right? But I did anticipate that this week it was designed to rattle some of the more shakeable retail investors. Hi, I'm DKWILL, and the reason I'm showing my face here tonight on this video is because I need people to subscribe. I've been making videos now for about 4 years. I think I'm up to maybe 300 videos, and I know I've come and gone because I've had issues. I'm in an extended stay now because I had a fire at the house. Of course, some of my viewers know I went through cancer and had to whoop that out too. And things happened in life. Life happened. But I still bring you good information. And I found out that 60% of my viewers, I shouldn't say I found out, I'm aware that 60% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you think you like what I say, hit like and subscribe. I make about 2 or 3 videos a week on average. Sometimes I get on a binge and I make 4 or 5. Sometimes I go stagnant and I only make 1. However, when I make them, DKWILL has something to talk about. Now, what do you care if I have something to talk about? Well, you don't until you see the proof is in the pudding. And this video is just another video that I'm doing to show that the proof is in the pudding. There's a psychology to this market, and I know how to read that psychology to this market. And as a consequence, many of my viewers are making money, but that's all up to them when they buy and when they sell. But everything I've ever recommended has proven to be lucrative if one's did it. Now, I didn't say make you rich, but I did say make money, and not just make money. Put your money to work for you in safe places where you don't have to sweat it. Let's keep making the point. So it should make for a very interesting week, and so far it has. And if it follows the pattern of the Bitcoin ETF, then we have a promising future. You just have to be able to stomach the moves. But it also supports the idea that I mentioned before, where the churning is occurring. And this, if you don't have an understanding of the finance markets, you might not understand what's happening here. So basically what I'm saying is, it's not unheard of that the price might drop after it all happens. You know, it's going to be a little run-up period first, but then the price will drop, and then they'll get more liquidation out of retail investors who aren't savvy to what's really going on, because they're not really investing in XRP. They're not really buying up the XRP to force up that much of a spike in that sense. They're putting out contracts. Now, the contracts will require buying and selling the XRP, but in often cases, it's a wash, and therefore more of the churning, correct? Yes. So that puts me back on my target for October being the real deal, when things really are going to happen. And this is just another smoke and mirrors, perhaps, to continue to obtain liquidity from retail investors while completely lining and padding the pockets of the whales in the financial institutions. Yes, to line the pockets of the whales in the financial institutions. You won't find a much bigger whale than the Ripple founder, Chris Larsen, who moved millions more XRP to Coinbase with the all-time high in sight. The question, did he sell? This article from yesterday, July 17th, showed that the executive chairman, Chris Larsen, moved millions of dollars worth of XRP to Coinbase right ahead of this all-time high. It reached as high as 366. And so the question is, why would Ripple co-founder and executive chairman Chris Larsen move $26 million of XRP at those prices to Coinbase. Well, that's exactly what he did. It also went on to say that Ripple's press office didn't respond to Decrypt's questions regarding the transactions. But blockchain data shows the movements to America's biggest crypto exchange happened on Tuesday. On Tuesday, folks. On Tuesday, ahead of the churn and the burn. Okay? Let's stay alert here because, see, Tuesday was the 15th, right about here. And look what happened after the 15th. Zzz, going on. It goes on to say in the history that Larsen moved 10 million XRP, but it was never clear whether he sold those tokens. He made XRP has soared this week as traders put record bets on the price of the cryptocurrency going up. It's going to go up. It's going to go up and never stop, just like I said. But there is a psychology to the market. There is a smoke and mirrors. There is a narrative. There is a hustle and play. It isn't just about technicals. It isn't just about fundamentals. If it were simply about technicals and fundamentals and everybody figured it out, which many people have figured out fundamentals and technicals, then everybody would get rich, right? But somehow there's always more losers than there are winners, and there has to be more losers than there are winners. Because like I've said before, for me to make $1,000 on a trade, one person has to lose $1,000 plus fees. Now, especially with ETFs, there's going to be fees. Or 10 people have to lose $100 plus fees. But they're not going to just make magic money for me to make $1,000. Now, see, I'm saying me make $1,000 because I don't go in the market to lose. I've said many times I hate that phrase, only invest what you can afford to lose. I can't afford to lose a penny. How about that? I can't afford to lose a penny. I invest to win, not to lose. And so that's why it pays to understand the psychology of the market and to read the tea leaves, so to speak, rather than just go along with the narratives. And I expected, as I showed you from my prior video, that the narrative would lead to what it led to today. And for those who are new, I already know this. I talked to a friend of mine, close friend of mine, who I did convince to buy XRP when it was $1.50. It went all the way up to 2 something. The man doubled his money. He finally got out because he got skittish. He got skittish. So he wasn't here for this. But the point I'm making is that's how the average retail investor thinks. They are skittish about their money and they can't take the long haul with cryptocurrency. But if you've been in XRP since way back when I was in XRP, you bought it when it was 11, 12 cents, 14 cents, 17 cents, 22 cents, 27 cents, 33 cents, 38 cents, 50 cents. I don't think I ever bought it more than 50 cents. I might have bought it one time at 60 some cents. So these prices are beautiful, but you have to be there. You have to have your gorilla grip and you have to have a plan. I made a plan, taking my dog for a walk. I walked away from the desk when it was at 366. That's why I know it got that high. And you can verify that with me. We can go right here and put it on the, the wick. And it says 365. I know it went to 366. Okay. I walked away and I told myself I'm going to walk the dog. And by the time I'm done walking the dog and I go back in, I'm going to check to see what it's done since then. If it shot up even beyond the 366, I was going to take my money out. I was going to sell no more than 10% of my XRP holdings and take all the money I ever put in XRP out plus a small profit. But it didn't. Did I care? Did I get sick? No, I didn't, because you want to know why? XRP has now entered price discovery, people. We don't know what the real all-time high is going to be. There's way too many developments, and maybe I'll make a video about that going forward. But for now, I wanted to make this video. I'm DKWILL. This is DKWILL Talk About It, and I've talked about it. Have a wonderful night.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.